the wonderful Philomena Begley.
Hello, Tommy.
Hello, Philomena.
How are you? I've got my wee mask with me here, so I'll leave it there.
All right, I thought it was a nagging of vodka you were bringing on with you.
Well, what did you have last night? Watching last night?
No, I don't. Every evening, I do get a fair bit of whiskey.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. It's hard to know when you're drinking too much whiskey, isn't it?
Oh, did I know all about it?
What would have been? What is your?
Oh no, well I wouldn't drink too much whiskey now. I would take an odd glass of wine. Yeah. Well, more so now than before this. I might have taken a wee Morgan Space and Coke.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
When during the day?
Oh, but maybe when I'm on holiday.
Yeah, but so my awareness of you is of even though we're in different genres,
yeah,
that we have a lot in common. In that we're people of the road.
That's right.
So, and the road that we have ridden.
We'll not tell it all.
No. Isn't a glamorous one.
No.
It's driving cross country back home most evenings and
that's right,
maybe traipsing around England in a van and stuff like that. So there's no. But my awareness of you is of someone who went home each night, and you could be arriving home at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
That's correct, yeah. Well, most nights now, but if I was staying where we were playing away in around Galway or going down Cork or Limerick or somewhere like that, and doing 2 gigs or 3 gigs down there, we would stay over. But most nights now, to be honest, over the years, I always came home, especially when the children were smaller.
How old would they have been when you were touring like that?
You see, you need to find out how long I'm singing first. I'm on the road 50, well, if I make it to May this year, I'll be on the road 59 years.
Good God.
Singing, and I never retired yet.
Yeah. How many kids do you have?
I've 3.
3, okay.
3, Aidan, Mary and Carol.
Okay. So it wasn't an exam.
Well, that's the order they were born.
Yeah. So was there ever a thing where, in terms of minding yourself on the road, and there being there are 2 different ways of life? Like the road life is drinking, it's sociable, it's very late nights, it's peaking at around 10 o'clock in the evening and maybe not landing till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And the collision between that and the home life, which is...
No, well, my life wasn't like that. There was no, we went and did the gig and came home. There was no drinking. We didn't take any drink at all, or there was no drink or drugs or anything like that.
Really?
Well, from in those days, like, so you wouldn't, like, we played in the dry halls then, you know, there was no drink in the halls or anything like that. But up until, say, into the 70s, you know, but...
From the 70s on, then it got a bit wild, did it?
Well, no, it didn't. We never were wild. Well, I was never wild anyway.
Really?
Wild until later. After I had my first child, I never took a drink until my 3rd child was born. And that's about gone up on 40 years ago.
Yeah. Did you have a role model in terms of the singing that you wanted to be a little bit like? Or even in the touring life that you wanted to be like?
Not really, no. I just went and did what I had to do, and that was it.
Sounds incredibly practical. Doesn't it? There's no...
No airs or graces.
Yeah.
No, there's none at all. And if you see me at home, it'll be worse.
You're a tough mammy.
Oh no, well, if you were talking to him, he bought me a wooden spoon one time there to remind me. He said I broke a couple on him, but I didn't, I broke them on the wall, battering, shouting at them.
Yeah.
But no, I wouldn't have been a tough mammy. I think I was a soft mammy.
You must have been tired as well, though.
No, didn't take a fidget of me. I went on, I went out, maybe sang to, we would go to carnivals, play carnivals, maybe 1,500 people at it. Go to all the dance halls, and that was always big crowds. You know, we were doing very well, the band actually, way back in the early days. You know, and it didn't faze me whatsoever.
It's home at 2, 3 o'clock in the
I
morning.
would go home,
up
and
late.
especially after, you know, when after I got married and the children and all were born, I would just go home. I would do stuff, well, go to my bed for a while anyway. Get up in the morning and I would do all the housework and all myself. And I'm still doing it.
It's remarkable, really. And was there ever a thing, like, did you ever encounter, say, around the border, did you ever encounter the IRA or people like that saying, listen, you're taking all this money and you have to spread the wealth?
I know, well, we never got really into anything major, you know, but I remember one night in Begley, we were robbed, the van. There was somebody came in, and the guy that was looking after the money at the time came in running in, and he says, there's a boy put a gun to his head. But they didn't get away with too much because we were smart enough. I think the boy had hid a couple of pounds.
Yeah.
You know, this was only just, you know, it was a carnival. But I'll be honest with you, the worst part that I always was afraid of around the troubled times was when we were coming home at night. It was very scary there, especially around the times that they were blowing up the bridges and that. And you always had this thing in your head when you were coming along the road. You know, maybe they'd make a mistake for somebody else, and you could go up on the bomb on the bridge. Like. But apart from that, you know, we got through it very well.
But, I mean,
and we stayed playing all the time, even in bad times. You know, we went out and played, did all the venues, played in Belfast and them all, you know, through thick and thin.
So, but would you have been doing like Armagh and Monaghan and Fermanagh and Cavan? Would you have been crisscrossing the border?
Oh, we would have been crossing the border, surely. I remember the Bob and Monaghan and Dublin. We were just weren't too long gone through. We were playing somewhere that night. Can't just recall where it was, but we were the bomb went off in Monaghan and Dublin. We were on the road that time. You know, but now it was scary. Now I have to say, like we weren't. And then as the night too, we had to get out. You know, get a knock on the door. One night in Lisnaskey. I got a knock on the door and there was a policeman. He says, Philomena, get out. He says, there's a bomb. But then again, in saying that, there was different places we had to get out of halls. But it kind of, I don't know what it was, but at the time you just went out and they checked around and you went back in and played away.
Were there other women on the road at the same time as you? Like, who would have been? Was Margot on the road?
Oh, Margot was on the road, surely. Margot and Susan McCann. And so there was hundreds of bands on the road that time.
Yeah.
And you'd be heading off. We would be heading away off down to Galway or Kerry or somewhere like that. And the bands from down there were coming up into the north. They were great times, you know. I really enjoyed them days, you know. They were really... the crack was good, and I travelled in the van all the time, and even up until lately, Aidan was a band there, and if they were going, if I was doing anything but them, I would travel in the van with them before we go in the car.
Yeah.
Even yet.
So you're very comfortable with men's company?
Oh, very well. It was nothing only. And my husband played in the band when I started. He was always with me, you know. All the time, because I'm married to him for 46 years, and I'm with him.
You'll stay married then, isn't it?
Well, I'll stay there now anyway because I've no other option. No, God knows, we're doing okay.
Yeah. I have a sense of country music now that there's an element of insincerity in it.
Do you think so?
Yeah, with the younger brood coming up, they don't seem to have the same type of grounding that maybe we would look at people like yourself and Big Tom, or even people maybe like Brendan Shine, or...
that's right.
Do you know what I mean? You seem to come from a different era. Would you have any opinions about the state of Irish country music now?
Well, I suppose the younger generation, you know, I think some of them anyway, most of them there, you know, they would still be doing the old stuff, you know. But then I think they'll be more experimental and trying the American stuff now, you know. But I always tried, if I was talking to any of them, then, you know, to give them a wee bit of advice, you know, for them to, you know, before they go out on the stage, the first thing you have to do, make sure you're going out there to sing to the audience. Don't be singing for yourself, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's what a lot of them, you know, they're going out and they're singing American stuff that doesn't mean a light to the people that comes into to dance, especially the dances now. I haven't been doing dances for a long time now. I'm doing mostly concerts now.
Yeah. But does that mean that you get trapped in the audience's expectation of you? So that, in other words, you don't get to change your show, and you don't get to sing the songs that you like because of what you think.
Oh, not at all. I wouldn't go by me, because I do my own thing. Like, I go out and I do all the songs that my songs that I'm singing. I'm singing them this last 50 years or more, and you know, I would still do most of them there, because the people, that's what they want. That's what they're coming to see. They're coming to see me singing the songs that I recorded, and I would put in an odd new one here and there or whatever. But my program's nearly the same as it was when I started.
And that doesn't bother you?
No, not bother me at all. I go out the audience love it. I pick the songs that I know that the people will know, and especially at the concerts. And you know, it's great. I love the concerts. You know, I would go out and once I would hit the stage there, you know, whatever it is about the stage, it's like a drug to me. And once I hit the stage, I enjoy it. I you know, talk to the audience just in the way I'm talking to you now. Just have a bit of chat and a bit of crack, and I love it. And I would never ever consider retiring. But this is COVID now, to be honest with you. It has been the worst thing ever happened to me in my lifetime, I would say, because I was the first part of it now was grand, because you know the weather was good. Aidan, myself, whenever, you remember they used to were out clapping for the HSE, whatever. But we would, Aidan would set the gear up out at the back of his place there. There's an old mill down there, you know, and me and him would go out and would sing every night at 8 o'clock. I would open up, would sing The Way Old Friends Do, and then after that, we had backing tracks, and we sang for about an hour, and the neighbours were all, you know, out at their doors clapping, and then as the weeks went on, they started to come down. So we were a bit down the lane a bit from in the bill, but we had to move up because everybody was starting to come in, and it finished up. Then the last night, then Ian gathered up a couple of the lads out of the band, and we did a finale night. It was absolutely, it was like a breath of fresh air to go out and get to do this.
Would you have a song on you now? Can you give me a few bars on?
God, I would have plenty of songs, but I'm trying to think of a song that would be appropriate. I could do a wee bit of the song that I did when we were out clapping.
Great, great.
You and I can share this silence, finding comfort together the way old friends do. And after fights and words of violence, we make up with each other the way old friends do. Times of joy, in times of sorrow, we will always see it through. Oh, I don't care what comes tomorrow, we can face it together the way old friends do. We can face it together the way old friends do.
That was brilliant.
Thank you very much. Wee bit of tuning, not too good here and there, but what of it?
That was great. There's great soul in that.
Thank you.
Would you have any idea how many albums you've sold?
I would say now, to be honest with you, I would go as far as to say it would be in the millions anyway. Because over the years, when I started out first, I made my first album in the early 70s.
Yeah.
Truck Driving Woman.
Truck Driving Woman.
Truck Driving Woman, that was my first album. And I was sitting in the back of a lorry. Honest to God, if you've seen some of the sleeves I have.
So did they take a photo of you with your hands on the steering wheel?
Oh, no. Well, the Truck Driving Woman one now, I was sitting, something I don't know damn where, I was sitting as that long ago.
Yeah.
I know I had long hair down to there.
Yeah. When you went to America, what other country music stars did you meet, and which meetings impressed you?
Well, I'll start from the beginning. We went to America. We did the usual ones that the Irish bands would do: Boston, Chicago, Philadelphia, New York. Then we used to do a big festival in Wembley. It was called the Marlborough Festival. It was on for about 19 years. Myself and Ray Lynn, we were a duo at the time, and we did that festival. And it was all the American singers. All the big singers were all over, and Tommy Wynette, George Jones, Merle Haggard, Buck Owens. They're only to name but a few.
Yeah.
So I went over to Nashville, and I recorded about, I think it was 4 albums, along with the Porter Wagner, Dolly Parton studio.
Oh my God! Wow. Yeah.
I did 2 tours over in England with Dawn Williams. I did a tour with Glenn Campbell.
Wow.
I'm the only one now that's still living the road dead.
And did you have a sense that they respected you?
Oh gosh, yes. Oh God, aye, surely.
And I think it's a wonderful thing to look back on your way of life and go, it was great fun. Definitely,
I have to say, I really enjoyed every bit of my. Certainly, there was ups and downs, but there was more ups than there was downs. I can tell you, I loved it, and I still to this day love it, and I never ever. There's a song I've just recorded at the minute. It's a new song. It's one called "I'd Do It All Again, Given Half a Chance."
Yeah. Philomena, it's been a pleasure talking to you.
Well, it was a pleasure talking to you too. I really have enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.